I would say that anything is possible and, to dream big. I think me as a person, I'm very ambitious
To think
and
that I make a difference, that's what the only thing I can do to give back to my country is to help inspire, to inspire.
A little out of words. I think this time of the year is a
Heartbreak at the Australian Open, the secret 13 words that saved Eala. It was a scene that would break even the hardest of hearts. The bright blue courts of Melbourne Park. The deafening roar of a crowd that had traveled thousands of miles just to scream one name. And then, silence. You could see it in her eyes before the tears even fell. That crushing weight of expectation, the sudden, sharp sting of a dream slipping through your fingers. Eala, the Philippines' golden girl, the teen sensation who has carried a nation's hope on her shoulders, stood alone on court 6. Defeated. Broken. But what happened next wasn't captured on the highlight reels. It wasn't in the box score. As the cameras zoomed in on her devastation, and as the whispers of the critics started to swirl like vultures, a figure emerged from the stands. A mother running to her child. And in that chaotic, emotional storm, Riza Eala whispered 13 words to her daughter. 13 simple words that didn't just stop the tears, they silenced the haters and reminded the world what a true champion looks like. Come home, my love. In my heart, you will always be a champion. Today, on Court Vision Plus, we are taking you deep inside the heartbreak, the drama, and the beautiful, untold story of a mother's love that saved the Australian Open for Eala. We're going past the scoreline. We're digging into the locker room tears, the brutal criticism from the keyboard warriors, and the incredible resilience of a 20-year-old superstar who is just getting started. If you love tennis, if you love emotional comebacks, and if you believe that family is everything, you need to watch this until the very last second. Upbeat, energetic transition music. But first, if you are new here, welcome to the family. This is Court Vision Plus, your #1 source for the raw, unfiltered, and dramatic side of the tennis world. We don't just report the scores, we tell the stories that matter. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell so you never miss a scoop. And hey, tell your friends, Court Vision Plus is the new home for tennis fans. Now, let's go back to Melbourne. Let's set the scene. January 2026. The Australian Open. The Happy Slam. But for Eala, this was serious business. She arrived in Melbourne not just as a hopeful qualifier, but as a direct entry, a legitimate contender sitting at a career-high ranking of world number 49. The hype? It was off the charts. The Philippines doesn't just watch Eala, they live and die with every forehand she hits. The draw looked good. Her opponent? Alicia Parks. A talented American with a big serve, but a player Alex knew she could beat. And folks, for the first 30 minutes of this match, it looked like a coronation. The atmosphere on Court 6 was electric. We are talking football stadium energy. There were hundreds of Filipinos packed into the stands, flags waving, face paint on, chanting Alex. 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 It was so loud, so intense, that Alicia Parks admitted later she was totally rattled. And Alex? She came out firing. Bam. A forehand winner. Bam. A drop shot. She was dancing around the court. The first set was a masterclass. 6-love. A bagel. She didn't just win the set, she obliterated it. The crowd was going absolutely bonkers. It felt like destiny. It felt like we were watching the start of a deep Grand Slam run. But in tennis, things change in the blink of an eye. The second set started, and the momentum shifted. Alicia Parks, maybe fueled by that hostile crowd, started finding her range. Her serve, which is a cannon when it's on, started clicking. The unforced errors from Alex started creeping in. One double fault. Then another. The bagel in the first set started to feel like a distant memory. Parks took the second set 6-3. The tension in the stadium got thick. You could cut it with a knife. The chants of Alex got a little more desperate, a little more anxious. Then came the decider. The third
Alexandra
set.
Eala's two-handed
This is
backhand
where
is
legends are
solid
made,
and
right?
reliable.
But
She
on
uses
this
it to
day,
counterpunch
the tennis
well,
gods were
hitting
cruel.
cross-court winners.
Parks
handling
broke
games.
early. 2-love. Then 3-love. Alex was fighting, grunting, chasing down every ball, but the harder she tried, the faster the match slipped away. The crowd tried to lift her, but you could see the body language change. The shoulders slumped. The racket head dropped. Final score, 0-6, 6-3, 6-2. From the highest high of a 6-love start to the crushing low of a first-round exit. It was a collapse. And for a young player carrying the weight of 100 million people, that kind of loss doesn't just hurt, it destroys. Now, this is the ugly part of sports that we don't talk about enough. The second that match point landed, the internet exploded. And not in a good way. We all know how passionate sports fans can be. But passion can turn toxic very quickly. While thousands of fans were sending love, there was a dark wave of criticism brewing. She choked. Overrated. She can't handle the pressure. Focus on tennis, not the fame. Can you imagine being 20 years old, checking your phone after the biggest loss of your year, and seeing strangers tearing you apart? It's brutal. Alex sat on her bench, packing her bag. She didn't rush off the court. In fact, and this shows you the kind of class this girl has, she stayed. She signed autographs. She took selfies with the fans who had waited in line for hours. She smiled through the pain. She told the press, "I felt so loved." But the cracks were showing. As she walked away from the bright lights and the screaming fans, the adrenaline wore off. The reality set in. She had lost. Again. After all the training, all the sacrifices, all the hype. She found a quiet corner away from the cameras. And that's when the dam broke. The tears came, hot, heavy tears of frustration and shame. She felt like she had let everyone down. Her team. Her country. Her family. It was a dark moment. A lonely moment. But she wasn't alone. Enter Riza Eala. For those who don't know, Riza isn't just Alex's mom. She is a warrior in her own right. A bronze medalist swimmer from the 1985 SEA Games. She knows what it's like to compete. She knows the smell of the chlorine, the ache of the muscles, and the bitter taste of defeat. She had been watching from the player's box, her heart racing with every point. When she saw her daughter crumble, she didn't see a tennis superstar. She saw her little girl. Witnesses say Riza hurried down to where Alex was. She didn't ask about the tactics. She didn't ask why Alex hit a backhand into the net at 30-40. She didn't mention the ranking points or the prize money. She simply opened her arms. Alex collapsed into her mother's embrace, sobbing into her shoulder. The world melted away. The critics on Twitter? Gone. The scoreline? Irrelevant. And then, Riza whispered those powerful words into Alex's ear. "Come home, my love. In my heart, you will always be a champion. Let's break that down. Come home." It's an invitation to safety. It's a reminder that no matter how far she travels, no matter how big the stadiums get, there is a sanctuary where she is just Alex. Not the Filipino sensation. Just Alex. In my heart, you will always be a champion. This is the antidote to the poison of professional sports. In sports, you are only as good as your last match. If you win, you're a hero. If you lose, you're a zero. Riza rejected that premise entirely. She redefined winning. To her, Alex's worth isn't measured in trophies. It's measured in character, in effort, in the person she is. It was a masterclass in parenting. In that moment, Riza wasn't building a tennis player, she was rebuilding a human being. To understand why this moment hits so hard, you have to understand the woman behind the words. Riza Eala is the silent engine behind Team Eala. We often see Alex's dad, Eala, giving interviews or talking strategy. But Riza? She is the emotional anchor. She grew up in a sports family. She swam 100-meter backstroke for the Philippines. She knows the isolation of an individual sport. Swimming, like tennis, is you against the world. There's no teammate to pass the ball to. If you fail, it's on you. She raised Alex to be tough, yes. But she also raised her to be grounded. There is a story from back in the day, when Alex was just starting at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain. It was tough. Alex was a kid, thousands of miles from home, living in a dorm, training until her hands bled. Riza couldn't always be there physically. But she was there emotionally. They would talk for hours on FaceTime. Riza would remind her, tennis is what you do, it is not who you are. That philosophy is what saved Alex in Melbourne. We live in an era where tennis parents have a bad reputation. We see fathers screaming at their daughters on court. We see mothers pushing their kids to the breaking point for a paycheck. The Eala family is the opposite. They are a team. A unit. And Riza is the heart of that unit. When she held Alex in that embrace, she was effectively shielding her from the wave of criticism. She was a physical barrier between her daughter and the negativity of the world. Now, why was the reaction to this specific match so intense? Why were the tears so bitter? To get it, you have to look at the run-up to this tournament. 2025 was a breakout year for Eala. She made the quarterfinals of the Miami Open, a massive WTA 1000 event, beating Grand Slam champions along the way. She finally cracked the top 50 in the world. She won gold at the SEA Games, cementing her status as a national hero. She won her first main draw match at the US Open. Expectations for the 2026 Australian Open were sky high. People weren't just hoping she would qualify, they were predicting a run to the second week. When you have that much momentum, hitting a wall like Alicia Parks in the first round feels like a car crash. It's jarring. It makes you question everything. Was 2025 a fluke? Do I really belong here? And let's be honest about the pressure of the Filipino fan base. We love our athletes. We love Manny Pacquiao. We love Caicedo. And we love Eala. But that love comes with a heavy price tag. When Alex plays, she isn't just playing for herself. She is playing for every OFW, every overseas Filipino worker who woke up at 3 in the morning to watch the stream. She is playing for national pride. When she lost that third set, she felt the weight of millions of disappointed sighs. That is why Riza's intervention was so critical. She needed to remind Alex that she doesn't owe the world a win. She only owes it to herself to try. Let's talk about the wave of criticism again. In the hours after the match, the trolls were out. They criticized her serve speed. They criticized her stamina in the third set. Some even criticized her decision to sign autographs after losing, calling it unfocused. Ridiculous, right? But here is the truth. The best way to silence haters is not to argue with them. It's to survive them. By crying, by showing vulnerability, and then by letting her mother comfort her, Alex showed something more powerful than a forehand winner. She showed humanity. And guess what happened? The narrative flipped. As the photo of that hug started to circulate, the comments changed. Keep your head up, Alex. We are still proud of you. A mother's love is everything. The negativity was drowned out by a wave of empathy. People remembered that she is only 20 years old. She is basically a college sophomore age-wise, battling grown women on the world stage. That moment with her mom humanized her. It reminded us that before she is an athlete, she is a daughter. And it made us root for her even more. So, where do we go from here? Is this the end of the road? Absolutely not. If you know anything about Eala, you know she bounces back. Remember when she failed to qualify for the Australian Open 3 years in a row? She didn't quit. She went back to the lab, worked on her fitness, and came back as a top 50 player. Remember when she struggled with injuries in the juniors? She healed up and won the US Open junior title. This girl is made of Teflon. And she's already moving on. Despite the singles loss, she had doubles to play. And she has the Philippine Women's Open coming up, a historic WTA event happening right in Manila. Can you imagine the scenes there? She is going to go home, literally, just like her mom said, to play in front of her home crowd at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. The loss in Melbourne serves as fuel. It adds fire to the belly. Novak Djokovic, the GOAT, even commented on Alex recently, saying that her drawing huge crowds is a good problem to have. When Novak is noticing you, you are doing something right. The Australian Open 2026 will be remembered not as a failure, but as a growing pain. It's the scar tissue that toughens you up for the battles ahead. And thanks to Riza and Eala, Alex isn't carrying the emotional baggage of that loss. She left it in her mother's arms. She put it down so she could pick her racket back up. We can all learn something from this story. Whether you are a tennis player, a student, a parent, or just someone trying to get through the week, we all have our court 6 moments. We all have moments where we start 6-love and end up losing. We all have moments where the world turns its back on us. In those moments, you need to find your Riza. You need to find that voice that tells you, you are enough. And if you are a parent watching this, be like Riza. Don't just celebrate the wins. Embrace the losses. Because that is when your child needs you the most. Eala is going to win Grand Slams one day. I have no doubt. She has the game, she has the drive, and she has the time. But when she lifts that trophy, I want you to remember this moment. Remember the tears in Melbourne. Remember the hug. Because you can't have the glory without the grit. You can't have the triumph without the tears. Eala is a champion. Not because she wins every match, but because she knows how to lose, how to cry, how to be held, and how to stand back up. Come home, my love. She is coming home. And she's coming back stronger than ever. What a story, right? It honestly gives me chills. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What do you think of Eala's reaction? Do you think the criticism of Alex was unfair? And most importantly, do you think Eala will win a Grand Slam in the next 3 years? Drop a yes or a no in the comments, and let's get a debate going. I'll be replying to the best comments in the first hour. And listen, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please support the channel. We are building something special here at Court Vision Plus. Click that subscribe button right now. Like this video to help the algorithm find more tennis fans. And share this with anyone who needs a little inspiration today. Also, make sure you subscribe to Court Vision Plus, our new channel where we're bringing you even more exclusive tennis coverage, behind-the-scenes stories, and the raw emotions that make this sport so incredible. Hit that subscribe button for Court Vision Plus so you don't miss a single moment of tennis drama. Until next time, keep your eye on the ball, and keep the passion alive. This is Court Vision Plus, signing off.